What's up, guys? Welcome back. 88 Fitness Training. I'm Camille. This is James. And today we're going to show you the best exercises for tricep growth. All right, y'all, stay tuned. Check it out. When it comes to hypertrophy and growing big triceps, there's 3 principles to hypertrophy. And hopefully you've been watching the series so you already know what I'm gonna say. But number 1 is mechanical tension. So lifting a heavy ass load, you guys. Number 2 is moving that heavy load over a distance. It's called working tension. And number 3
is the stretch under load, yo. We keep telling you the most potential for growth is a muscle stretched while under load.
So all right, you guys, we're gonna take you through the best tricep building exercises that meet the 3 principles to hypertrophy. Let's jump in. We're gonna start with some heavy close grip bench presses. So this is one of the best tricep building exercises, and I'm gonna do a few and then we'll talk about why. All right, here we go. This is a pretty heavy weight for me.
Whenever you're lifting heavy weight, get yourself a spotter, yo. You don't want to get the bar stuck on your chest and have to do the lean to get the plates off, right?
So let's talk about the 3 principles to hypertrophy and why this is such a great exercise. Number 1 is mechanical tension. So in terms of loading up this barbell, the sky's the limit, right? You can make this thing as heavy as you can go. Number 2, working tension. We're moving those triceps over a pretty great distance. So it's another great one. You are somewhat limited by the bar kind of hitting your chest, but you're still moving that weight over a pretty juicy distance. So that's a good thing. And then number 3, stretch under load. It's moderate, right? You are getting a pretty decent stretch on the triceps. And we'll talk more about that later with some other exercises. But all in all, this is a pretty solid muscle builder for triceps.
Another great exercise for triceps. You really can't beat these first 2 is dips. Right after the close grip bench, you got dips, and man, they will blow your triceps up.
You've seen a lot of James's videos. He definitely works weighted dips into his program. So do I. We really like this exercise because, again, you can lift a lot of weight. You don't have to do on body weight. In fact, if you can do 10 or more, you should be strapping weight to yourself or holding a dumbbell with your feet. It can get cumbersome, but you absolutely can do weighted dips. Not only that, you're still moving a pretty good distance. You have pretty good range of motion. Maybe not as much as the close grip bench, but you still do. And then in terms of stretch, it's a decent stretch. You might not have as much like shoulder extension going on than some other exercises, but you still are stretching pretty decent there. So all around solid exercise as well. So, all right, let's show you how this is done.
We're gonna get to the weighted dips. There's a couple different ways to do it. One, you can do the belt, strap the belt around you and then hang the plates. That gets super, super wonky, y'all. The other one, grab the weight with your ankles, hold it in your ankles. Again, it's a little bit wonky, but you gotta add weight. I can do dips all day with my body weight. I'm 220 pounds-ish, and I can go all day. I have to add weight to myself to make it an effective exercise. Again, it gets wonky. That's why close grip is first. This is second, just because it's a little bit wonky to do. All right, enough talking. Check it out. So your regular dips look like so. Bam, bam. You can do these all day. So you gotta add weight. Grab the dumbbell with your feet. Bam, bam, just like so. Now it's an effective exercise, right? Now we got enough weight. We're gonna fail between 6 and 10 reps. All right, weighted dips. Make sure you're going heavy enough to make it effective.
I'm definitely not at the point of being able to do 55 pounds on my tricep dips, but I did recently start progressive overloading. So right now I can do about 20 pounds and that's a good rep range for me. So I'm gonna go ahead, same thing as James, lower down, grab it, just like this. Stuck. There you go. So it's definitely challenging, and like what I love about this one is you can keep adding weight as it gets easier and easier. These are really hard for me right now. It took me quite a while to work up to even being able to do them with weight. So if you're not quite there yet, that's fine, but dips are a great exercise.
Listen, y'all, in the immortal words of Ronnie Coleman, everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, nobody wants to lift heavy weight. These two exercises, you can load up, you can lift the heavy weight and blow those triceps up. You want big triceps? Start with the close grip and then go right to the dips, baby.
Yeah, what I love about the close grip is you have the stability, you have the control. It's really great for volume work. So this is definitely a key lift. And then you can kind of do the overload with the dips, right? You're already a little pre-exhausted from your heavy compound on the close grip, and then you can move right into the weighted dips. So great for mechanical tension, great for working tension, and great for stretch under load. Those are our top two. We're gonna move into the next couple of exercises. Let's talk for a minute about skull crushers. So this is definitely not one of my top exercises for you guys.
Me neither.
I think in concept, it's really great. It meets all of the criteria for hypertrophy, but in practicality, the execution of this is very difficult to nail for people. And so we're gonna kind of take you through why.
Okay, so I don't like skull crushers that much because they put a lot of tension on your elbows. I'm a little bit of an older gentleman and it hurts my elbows, especially if you put any weight on that bar. You know, close grip doesn't hurt, dips don't hurt, but for whatever reason, skull crushers just kill my elbow. So I'm gonna do just the bar to show you how to do them here. All right, you wanna go behind your head, get a good stretch on your tricep there, and come up and squeeze just like so.
Yeah, so the issue that I have with this in terms of execution is a lot of people, it starts to get heavy and then their elbows start to float forward and back, in and out, which turns it into a different exercise. Not only that, most people do not skull crush with the bar behind their head, and that's what you're gonna need to do to get enough stretch on those triceps. So most people are right at their head like this, when in reality, your arms need to be back. And when your arms are in that position, it really limits how much weight you can do because you end up with the elbow pain that James was talking about.
Yeah, just think about it for a second. You know, how much weight can you do on close grip? How much weight can you do on dips compared to skull crush?
Right, so even though it kind of meets the three principles of hypertrophy in theory and practicality, it's very hard to execute. So instead of doing the skull crushers, we're gonna show you even better exercise. So an even better exercise over the skull crushers is gonna be an overhead tricep extension on the cable. This is like one of my favorites. It's one of my go-tos. After I'm done with that heavy close grip bench and the dips, this is the last thing I pretty much do for my triceps. So great exercise.
Yeah, when you talk about isolation tricep exercise, I think this is the best one by far, and it's not even close.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about how to get set up. You can see James has the pulley down low. Most people put the pulley up high, but by putting the pulley down low, we're gonna be able to get that shoulder extension and deep stretch on the triceps. Yep, there you go. So he's gonna go ahead and sling this around your back, and be careful getting into this position. It is challenging a little bit. So you can see as he does this, he's stretched here and he's stretched here on the tricep. So in terms of stretch under load, nothing beats this exercise, you guys. And we're on the cables, so he can crank up those weights as it gets too easy for him, and it is not easy. He's got quite a bit of weight on the cable right now, and it should be burning for sure.
Oh yeah. If you get a little bit of problem with counterbalance, you can do these seated. Put a seat here, then you support it. You don't have to counterbalance the weight. Just a pro tip.
So in terms of these two exercises, hopefully it's clear to you that the overhead tricep extension definitely beats out the skull crushers. If you're adamant you want to do skull crushers, I would do them after the overhead tricep extension. So hit those before you're too fatigued and then finish with the skull crushers. Just remember, you have to execute those with precision if you want to use them for growth.
Good point. I mean, they're both good exercises, but the nod's got to go to the cable overhead extension, man. You get more stretch, more time under tension, and you can put as much weight on there as you want. You're not gonna be able to do the whole stack, I can guarantee you. So they're all there. Once again, I don't think you can beat the overhead extension on the cable.
So you're probably wondering, where's the tricep pushdown in this exercise video? Well, here we are. We're going to talk about tricep pushdowns. It's not a bad exercise, but with this one, as James starts to do a few, you'll start to see that it doesn't exactly meet all of the principles to hypertrophy. And so I'll break that down for you.
Yeah, it's another isolation exercise, slightly less effective as the overhead.
All right, let's go ahead and show them why this is maybe not the best exercise. So for one, we don't have a lot of stretch. You saw the overhead tricep extensions where we were stretched both at the shoulder joint and the elbow, right? He's only stretched at the elbow. So it definitely doesn't have that number 3 rule, stretch under load. In terms of mechanical tension, you can add a lot of weight, but at some point you kind of can't counter the weight. You start having to use momentum. So let me actually show you. Let's actually make this hard for James, you guys. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put like 52 pounds on that bar. That might even still be too light for him. I don't know. Yeah, it's too light. All right, not a good example. We're gonna go ahead and rack it, right? So he's got all the weight on here. So see that? Just even getting it started, he has to use momentum. You can see he's using a little bit of like body rock here from the hip. So this is really hard for him. So that's not as effective of an exercise.
Yeah, I've done these before where my abs actually get sore because I'm stabilizing that weight, trying to push it down, and my abs actually got sore from tricep press.
Yeah, so in terms of moving a heavy load, you can up to a certain point. As you start to progressive overload this, you will get to a point where you are stuck and you can't until you're using your abs or something like that. In terms of working tension, moving that weight over a great distance, you are somewhat limited just because of you're in this position, right? Compared to like the overhead where you can really get that deep stretch on the triceps. And again, we're only bent at the elbows. We're not bent at the elbows and the shoulders. So this is not the most effective exercise. Yet when you're at the gym, you see everybody doing this on arm days. Think about it. I like to use this as a warm-up, right? So as I'm warming my elbows up, getting ready for arm day, I'll actually do this one, not as a part of my actual workout trying to build triceps. James, what are you doing over there? That's like a completely trash exercise. Guys, tricep kickbacks, if you're doing them outside of a warm-up, they just have no place in your workout if you're a serious lifter. In terms of moving a heavy load, it is near impossible to do a heavy load on these because you will just topple over, right? You're trying to stabilize way too much.
You can't do these properly with heavy weight. That's just common sense. And if you've ever tried it, you're not going to grab a big heavy weight unless you start swinging it and using momentum and non-proper form. Proper form, you're not going to be able to go heavy on this one.
Right. Not only that, you're not getting any type of good stretch under load here. It's really kind of a limited range of motion that you're moving those arms in. So definitely pull tricep kickbacks out of your workout program and place them in the warm-up if you're using them at all. So there you have it. You heard it from us. It's absolutely not a great exercise in terms of building those massive triceps. Well, there you have it, guys. Let's go ahead and recap this video. So today we taught you about the 3 principles to hypertrophy, which is mechanical tension, working tension, and
stretch under load.
Yes. So anytime you're working out, you want to make sure that the exercises you're selecting meet these 3 principles to hypertrophy. So today we were talking about building those massive triceps. So we took you through the top exercises for that, which were the close grip bench, the weighted dips, and the overhead tricep extensions, y'all. So we really love the amount of mechanical tension that you can drive with the close grip bench. You can really load up that barbell. The form's pretty easy to execute. You can't mess it up too much as long as you're keeping those elbows tucked. And then we moved into the weighted dips, which we really love the amount of stretch you get, the range of motion you can get, and the fact that you can progressive overload them.
Yeah, those first 2 lift heavy. You call it mechanical tension. I call it lifting heavy.
Yes.
So lift heavy, and those first two, your big compound exercises, blow those triceps up.
Yep. From there, I would move right into the overhead tricep extensions. Nothing beats the amount of stretch you can get on that tricep. So in terms of an isolation exercise, that is the one that you guys should be selecting in your program.
Yep, no question.
Absolutely. And remember, the other exercises that we went through were the tricep pushdowns. Not a terrible exercise, but it definitely should be towards the back of your workout or used as a warm-up. The other one was the skull crusher. While we love it in theory, when it comes to actually executing it, it is very difficult to perform properly. So be careful with that one. Again, I would put it later in your workout and not as one of the main drivers for hypertrophy. And then tricep kickbacks.
You can throw them in the trash. Just put them in a trash can.
Yeah, I would do those as a warm-up, you guys, to get the elbows and shoulders and everything warmed up. Outside of that, I would leave them out of your program. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about what exercises to do and why they're effective. There's definitely other videos in this segment, so definitely check them out. Check out our tricep playlist as well. And remember to tune in every Sunday at 12 Eastern. You can catch James and I live to answer any questions you may have. All right, you guys, 88 Fitness Training, like and subscribe.